Miss C and Miss Branson, you guys unmuted? Okay.
Yes, but I'm muting myself.
Okay, awesome.
All right, so we're good. Let's go ahead and get started. Thank you all for being here at our early college high school meeting. And looks like we have a district enhancement. So we should be good for up to 300 participants now for these meetings. And so that's good on behalf of the district. So tonight we're gonna cover a few things on both sides, one on DeSoto ISD, and then on the second portion, that will be basically Cedar Valley. They're gonna come in at 6:30. Right now they're on the other side with dual credit, and then they'll be able to come over here. Okay, so again, we want to welcome all parents and scholars that are here today. And again, we appreciate your patience. We know that this is not the way that we intended to go back to school. And so we're going to get through this together. Let's go over the meeting norms. I've already muted you, but we want to mute ourselves to minimize background noise. We share the vocal space. So when we're asking our questions at the end, we limit those to 2 minutes. If you have like a more individualized question, then you can email either ECHS@desotoisd.org or one of the counselors. Please utilize the chat feature if you're not comfortable speaking at that time, or if you have something along the way, we do have our team here to help facilitate those questions. The waiting room is enabled. Again, just because of Zoom hackers and just the nature of the business, I gave this disclaimer last time, but the meeting one is recorded. But if we happen to see some inappropriate things on the screen, if it's, something minor, then maybe we can keep going for a little bit. But if it's very inappropriate, we would have to end the meeting immediately. And then I would record this meeting in a live session with the team and then send it out on record or have a makeup session. And then the purpose of our meeting, of course, is to try to answer your questions and give you information as much as we can. Things do change. And so we just ask you to be patient and just keep abreast of the district communication as many times we get that same information. This is important for 2021. This was in our last meeting. Our last meeting was August 6th and 7th. If you were there, so some of this information may seem redundant to you, but I think it's important. And so there is a dual enrollment when you do attend early college. And so your child has an enrollment with Cedar Valley, and that's the college enrollment, and then DeSoto ISD, a high school enrollment to be a high school student within DeSoto ISD. So if you need to enroll with DeSoto ISD, then you would visit our district website. And then if you have any issues, you would want to contact the registrar, pearl.evans@desotoisd.org. This is some very important information. So if you don't have this information, you're free to take a screenshot. This is for both students and parents. We send information out via Remind. That's our fastest method of communication. And so you would see your students' class, like seniors class of 2021, current 12th graders down there. And so you'll get this information, but you'll also want, and I know many of you, because we go to the grade level house meetings as well. We're in those meetings too. And so you'll want to get all the information that you can, because there may be some senior meetings that are offering additional information on scholarships or something. So many times Dr. McBride may go over some additional things. We mainly cover the Cedar Valley side with the early college. And so there may be some additional information. If you're welcome to attend those meetings or email him to get the PowerPoints, or whoever the house principal is, Ms. Simon, Ms. Dunn, Dr. Ham, Ms. Miari. And so we're all here to help facilitate. Once again, I am Dr. Taylor. I'm the principal for the early college High School, and then I'll let the rest of the team introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Miss Burrows, the Counselor for Students L through Z. Welcome.
Are they muted?
Greetings, I am Nakia C., counselor for Alpha A through K.
Hello, I'm Miss Branch, for those of you that don't know me, and I'm the administrative assistant in the office, and I probably sent you guys 1,000 emails, but that's me.
Thank you. So we have our fabulous team. It's been fast and furious. We do want to welcome Ms. C to the team. She's our newest counselor here for A through K. And so she's come in rocking and rolling. Ms. Burrows, you can see her. She is so happy to have some assistance because she had the entire alphabet. So we're very ecstatic that she is on board, and Ms. Branch is always filling in. So if you need anything, she's there to answer your questions, or she's been in the district long enough to know who to contact if there's an additional answer that is required. We will talk briefly about technology devices, textbooks, and schedules. We do want to also introduce our classroom facilitators. So you would hear from them throughout the year. For last year, this is probably mainly more so for the incoming freshmen who may not be as familiar with these individuals. So we do have Coach Bill, Mrs. Deli, Mrs. Foy, Ms. Kama, and Ms. Porter, who help facilitate the classes. And that's important because for the college classes, unlike the high school classes, if there is an issue, the parent may call directly to the teacher and schedule a conference. Because it's a college class in FERPA, then that usually happens through the classroom facilitator. And so if there is a question, we try our best to make sure that our scholars are advocates for themselves and really give them a college experience. And so their first avenue, if something was wrong, is to go ahead and reach out to the professor. For instance, if they could not access an assignment or something was going on, then they go ahead and email or contact that professor. If something was there, you had a question and they couldn't get it resolved, then that's when you would reach out to the classroom facilitator. And many times they'll be calling the student, checking on assignments and emailing, making sure that they're staying abreast of the information. Now, what's important this year, as we know, everything is online for Cedar Valley, for the entire Dallas College, Mountain View, Eastfield, everywhere. And so there's not an option of campus learning. So even if you see that on the student schedule, like CVC, that's just because that was the location of the course and how our schedules are built for that. Okay, technology devices. The district did send out a survey, how you wanted your child to return. Either that was at home supervised learning or campus supervised learning. And so in that survey, it had information on if you needed a computer, if they had access they had limited hotspots that they got, but you didn't have internet. And so that information will be given to us from technology, and then that distribution will occur next week. We will send out an email, but right now the tentative dates are September 1st and September 4th from 9 to 4. And so those are the dates there. If something, the situation has changed, so right now we just ask that your child have, and many of them have it at home, a PC, laptop, or Chromebook. We have that there with the camera because math and BCIS courses usually require some additional technology. So like a webcam, or some of them have built-in cameras. We are not quite one-to-one yet because the whole nation is ordering computers. And so they are extremely backlogged, Dell and everybody else that you can get computers from. So technology is working extremely hard. And so the ones that have filled out the surveys are the priority. And then if a situation changes, you can email helpdesk@desotoisd.org and see if they have a loaner. Eventually, when we do become one-to-one, then those devices would be issued. For example, elementary will get iPads and secondary will get either a Chromebook or a netbook according to their grade level and what program they're in. Okay. Textbooks, they will be in a digital format. Ms. Branch, are you on mute? If you want to cover anything on this portion, but the distribution date will be sent via Remind. And so they have a new method there that we're going to go with, which is great because of COVID and CDC guidelines and us in accordance with Dallas County want to do the best option. And so this is a great option because once the student is enrolled, then that information goes straight to their Blackboard or eCampus, as they call it at Cedar Valley, for their college courses. Now, some students did receive biology kits that they mailed from the college. And so I know there was a survey that came out. Mrs. Burrows and Miss C dropped that link. So make sure that's filled out by tomorrow if your child is in biology. And so again, if something was broken, you can reach out to Mrs. Branch and she would be able to help. If you don't know her email directly, you can always email ECHS@desotoisd.org and she can also answer those emails there. Okay, I'll go ahead and let Mrs. Burrows and Miss C take over this part on anything they wanted to add on high school schedules.
Okay, so high school schedules were available Monday evening in parent and student portal. If you cannot see the schedule in parent or student portal, you need to email the help desk at helpdesk@desotoisd.org. Cedar Valley schedules are available in eConnect. Some of your classes may have been in Blackboard, but now they're not because they changed the start date from Monday till September 8th. So all your college schedules should be in eConnect. It will show up in Blackboard one day before classes begin. If you have questions about your schedule, you can email us. If you want to make changes to your high school schedule, you can fill out the high school schedule change request link.
Thank you. Okay, you know, we are unfortunately in the middle of a pandemic, and so we are using several communication methods. Remind is the most frequent because we can send it out mass, and we know that you've signed up for that link on your phone, and so there is an app on there, and so it is important if you grab those codes earlier to go ahead and sign up either on the parent one for your child there, and then if your student, make sure they've signed up as well. We will be sending out a communication link as well. It's either in Google or Teams format, but it's just a standard one that will put down your student's cell phone number, their email address, may have your phone number, email address, just so that we'll know. The district also sends out, or the campus, via school messenger. However, the main update that you want for school messenger is in parent portal. So you want to make sure whoever that primary contact is and that primary email, that's the one where they're sending the messages. So if you have a different email address, you want to make sure that that primary contact and that primary email is updated and current, because that's where DeSoto ISD will send that communication. It's also great if you go ahead and like the pages. DeSoto ISD Facebook, they send out a lot of information. Communications has been doing a great job. They have like a little cartoon for pre-K2 already out there to kind of give a feel of when we are like campus and home learning. And so it's a great depiction of what that experience looks like. And then also anywhere else, Twitter or anywhere else that we are, and then definitely the DeSoto ISD website. And so those are some of the information there. If you call the high school number, there is the receptionist on the high school side that answers a forwarded phone, a cell phone from the main number. And so if you have like an emergency or don't know, can't find the information on the website, you can call that number to get more direction. I am going to go briefly over this. We have about 10 more minutes before Cedar Valley is with us. Ms. Hobson, the program coordinator, and Ms. Rios Harris. And so just to give you a little bit of an idea, again, this may be repetitive for some of you if you've attended the grade level meetings on the other side, but just so that we cover a little bit more information tonight. So this is Anytime, Anywhere Learning Update. This was presented at the board on Monday, and so this is a great resource for you. Okay, the first day of school is September 8th. All students will start the first 4 weeks in home supervised learning. So that's virtual at home on September 8th. Cedar Valley was gracious to the Southwest districts as well as Dallas ISD, one of the largest districts, to go ahead and move our college dates from August 24th to September 8th. So everything aligns. And so they have both. So our students will start at the exact same time. So on September 8th, they're ready to go. And so this was done in accordance with the Dallas County monitoring. We are right now, the COVID-19 risk level is red. And so that's stay home and stay safe. We would want to be more into the yellow, proceed carefully before we return. So we do take that guidance seriously for the safety of everyone. And so these are like the different phases that we go through central office. And this was information that was presented from communications, and some of it is courtesy of Aldine ISD, and just kind of shows different levels of sanitation. For example, even if we had school right now, it's, you know, no transportation. So there's a lot of things that come into play. Again, we will continue to monitor for Dallas County as well as CDC, and they will make a determination with board approval whether we would go an additional 4 weeks, which would go into October 5th after that. I'm going to show you just a little bit of what else was presented. So a day in the life of a student. This would be strictly for the high school setting. And some of it may apply over to the other side. So the week of August 24th through the 28th, next week before school starts, then you would receive an email from communication about that device. If you put on your survey that one was needed for your student, those devices will be picked up, and then you should have received your schedules, as Ms. Burrows mentioned earlier. On Monday, those would have started coming out. Now, you may see some changes. Your student, as far as their Cedar Valley, they were making some tweaks because any student that was in the August 24th start, they had to basically build new classes for a September 8th start. This is one other important information. If you have other students, you'll see those dates as well. The times will be forthcoming, but for high school, that will be September 3rd. We will have a Meet the Teacher night. Of course, that will be virtual. Not in person like traditionally, but September 3rd will be that date. So if you want to go ahead and put that in your calendar or write it down in your notes. Okay, so our students will begin each day basically with the SEL lesson, which is a social emotional lesson for 30 minutes. And so for The high school, that would be like 7:30 to 8, and then the first class would start at 8. The teachers would then start their live synchronous session between 15 to 30 minutes, especially depending on the subject. And then students will have a weekly checklist. Schoology will be our main platform, and so we are using that platform. TEA has let all school districts basically use that platform. And so it is a great resource, and what they are doing is linking everything within there. And so if your student is on the backpack and going into Schoology, then those Zoom links should be embedded within that Schoology. And then that's the other session tonight for parents is on Schoology presented by A2E2 to get you more familiar. It'll be a student checklist for assignments and what they're required to do. This is just an example. I know it's probably kind of small, but just something they presented to give you an example. Like this one's a 4th grade ELAR lesson, but it takes you right through everything from what is the student doing, the learning objective, the hook, what to post, where to find the session, the link to the Zoom, what's the practice, feedback, and then their exit ticket. They do have to do something every day in order for them to get credit for attendance. So that might be logging into Zoom or Schoology or turning in an exit ticket for a teacher. And so all of that will be housed and outlined for you. This is an example of what Schoology looks like. And so you can see there at the top, the week of folder. So this week of September 14th through the 18th. And then you drop on down, and then all your documents are inside. So again, they have that checklist, so they know, verbatim what to do, basically their mini lesson plan. And then their student work is in these folders by the day. And so this is how the teachers will have this set up. And so that format should become accustomed to you and more familiar as you continue through the school year. Here's something else that just shows what the week of folder in the inside looks like. So kind of like that main checklist that I showed at the beginning. And so on here we see like identify 3 important details, reflection questions, respond to post. And so those are different things that the teacher could assign, again, to give them credit or attendance for that day. Here's some of the ideas for the lessons. So they have like some community circles, Rethink Ed. It talks about wellness and lunch breaks. You can pretty much read the rest, but it just kind of gives you an activity calendar. And so the counselors will be, very heavily involved in those SEL lessons and to get everyone started on a brain break and social emotional learning in the morning. And this again is what I was talking about. So here's some of the attendance here. So you see the technology option. Again, this is for high school because for college, we know there is only a technology option. They don't have a non-tech option for college. And so for high school, if they have their technology, they can complete work in Schoology for the high school classes between 12 and 11:59 of that day. They could submit their assignments. They may have to email a teacher, have a one-on-one, some kind of virtual office hour, or maybe it's a live Zoom session, or some of them, if they were still using the Google Classroom, then that would count. If there's not any technology, you have a packet or a consumable, a workbook that they're providing, and you'll get more information on that from the teacher of that classroom, your teacher of record. Then you could simply take a picture of that work and send it in to either the teacher's email, remind, or whatever method the teacher has indicated. And so that's important. There's also a survey in Schoology by the end of the day, or make some kind of arrangements, or maybe if something's just going on, the teacher would take a check-in phone call for the day. Okay, here's some frequently asked questions. When is the work due for me? Okay, so Again, the students' work is due by midnight, 11:59, so that they get credit for that attendance and student progress. And tomorrow they see the teacher again at 15-30 minutes of live synchronous session. And then they'll be able to connect through a virtual platform to some of those other teachers throughout the day. They may have a pre-recorded lesson, so just different things. Okay, academic help, they may have virtual office hours that's needed. If you need any technology help, then that would be the help desk at DeSotoISD.org. They're open from 8 to 4:30, and there is their phone number right there at the bottom. Go over this real quick, and then I see that I think Cedar Valley has entered the room. So we thank them for being here. A day in the life of a parent. So parents, you'll receive weekly communication with your student checklist. That's why that Parent Academy will be a good start. They will record it if you can't attend tonight at 7, but it'll be great information because when you have your parent Schoology account, you're able to link, if you have several students in the district, several children in the district, to one account. You can see information, activities, grades, assignments, get notifications, and message the teacher. Again, this is on the high school side and not the college side. And so that's kind of how that looks there. Just an example of the parent's view and Schoology. I want to go ahead and welcome Cedar Valley. I think I saw Ms. Rios Harris. Ms. Burrows, did you see Ms. Hobson yet?
Yes, I unmuted her and Ms. Rios Harris.
Okay.
Hey, Dr. Taylor.
Hi. How's it going? So this portion, they will get started. Ms. Hobson, do you need to, do we need to let you share your screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. I made you a co-host, so see if you can share your screen that way, please.
It will stop the others. Okay.
Oh, let me stop mine, sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna cross my fingers, you guys, that it works a little bit better for you guys than it did for the dual credit, because Zoom kicked me out about 4 times when I was with dual credit.
Okay.
So as Dr. Taylor said, my name is Ariel Hobson, and I will be your program service coordinator for Cedar Valley. So anything that's in relation to your college classes, your transcripts, transferring, different courses you want to take, all that kind of stuff, you guys are going to talk to me. So your support system at Cedar Valley consists of several people. One of the most important people is going to be Miss Alice Harrington. Miss Harrington is our administrative assistant. So anytime you guys need to schedule any sort of meetings with Cedar Valley, you're gonna start with Miss Alice Harrington, whether they're virtual meetings or in person once life goes back to normal. You'll shoot Miss Harrington an email, and that is her email up there on the screen. If you cannot see it, it is AX like xylophone, HARRINGTON at dcccd.edu. And a fun fact about Ms. Harrington is that she is a graduate of Texas A&M University Commerce, and she is a proud member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Another face that you guys will get real familiar with is Miss Norma McClellan. Anytime you are on our campus and you come into the B building, the first face you are going to see is Miss McClellan. She is the person who is going to give y'all candy. She is the person who's going to tell you to take your hood off your head. She's the person who's going to ask you, did you finish your food? So you'll get to know Miss Norma very, very well. And then this is me again. My name is Ariel Hobson. My email is amhobson, H-O-B like boy, S-O-N, at dcccd.edu. Please, please, please make sure you email me. Never, ever, ever, ever call me. It takes me like a week to return phone calls. But if you email me, my cell phone always stays on me, so it takes me less time to respond to you. Parents, if you are going to email me, please make sure you include your child or your student on your email. If it's just you, I cannot respond, and we're going to talk about why in just a second. Some facts about me: I attended Clark Atlanta University, but I graduated from the University of Texas at Dallas, and I am a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So how's college different? First and foremost is FERPA. FERPA, if you are unfamiliar with it, this is the guiding factor of how we are allowed to distribute your child's educational information. So I know you guys are used to being able to call the schools and talk to your child's teachers, talk to your child's principal, and get all the tea, all the information. College is different. Even though your student is a minor, they are still a college student, and their information cannot be released without their written consent. So in your enrollment packets, you should have received a FERPA waiver form. If you did not, that's fine, we can get one for you. But at the bottom of that form is where you will put everybody that is allowed to get your child's college information. So whether it's the mom, the dad, the brother, the sister, the grandma, the great aunt, whoever it is, their name has to be on that form. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you that I cannot talk to you. And the professor is going to tell you, I cannot talk to you. High school versus college, a couple of other ways that things are different. The most important one is that your professor is so happy to have you, happy to help you and assist you in any sort of way, but you have to initiate that contact. So if you know you are having a hard time in a class, it is up to you to go to your professor and ask for additional help. The professor is not going to seek you out. So make sure you start with your professor. If your professor is unable to answer your question or you still need more clarification, you will move to your high school counselor. From your high school counselor, the problem will come to me, and we will all three work together to get a solution for you. But make sure you start with your professor. The second thing to note is everything is in your syllabus. Read it, know it, memorize it, write it down, put it in your telephone. Everything you need to know, your tests, your due dates, can you make up late work? Whatever it is, I promise you, it is in your syllabus. Also, we cannot stress this to you enough. Everything that you are doing right now at Cedar Valley is going to follow you forever. Forever. Whether you go to college here in Texas, whether you decide you're going to leave the country and go to college in Japan, anytime you decide to enter another higher education institution, they are going to ask you for your Cedar Valley transcript. So we need to make sure that that transcript is beautiful. We want A's and B's. Every once in a while, I will let you slide with a C because I know life happens. But please, please, please do your best to do your best in your classes. If for some reason something happens, life happens, you're human, it's a pandemic, you never know. If your GPA falls below a 2.0, you will be placed on academic probation. And if that happens, that will require a different set of conversations with me, you, and your high school counselors. And finally, your primary resources are eCampus and eConnect. What's the difference, Ms. Hobson? I'm so glad y'all asked. eConnect is for your administration. So think of it like your file cabinet. If it's something like requesting your transcript, you need to update your information, you want to know what program of study you're in, anything that is dealing with paperwork, you are going to go to eConnect for. eCampus is your classroom. This is where your professor is posting the announcements. This is where you find your syllabus. Parents, this is where you find your child's grades. If your child tells you, I don't know what I got in that class, say, oh, that's fine, pull up your eCampus. We can look together. So when you log into eCampus, this is what it's going to look like. Again, a couple of those things that I was talking about up at the top is going to tell you all the courses you are in. There is a toolbar on the side with things like your calendar that you can link to your cell phone. Your grades are right there, so you will always know how you are doing in your class. I don't know, but you know. Parents, I don't know, your child knows. And this is your eConnect. Again, some of those things we talked about. What are you studying? What is your degree going to be in? You find that in eConnect. What courses am I enrolled in? That you will find in eConnect before it shows up in eCampus. And if you need to update your contact information, your address, your telephone number, your email, all of that are things that you can do yourself in your eConnect. And finally, any of your testing information. Ms. Hobson, did I take my TSI exam? I don't know. Did you look in your eConnect? Is what I'm going to tell you. So I know that was a lot of information and that was real fast. So if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, I'm going to hang out so you can feel free to drop them in the chat and I will do my best to answer them.
Dr. Taylor, can you go back to the slide with the remind codes?
Yes, I can. 1 second.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was trying to hit unmute and click the slide.
All right, so Ms. Hobson, there are some questions that maybe you can answer. If we
If you have
have
any questions at this time, please put them in the chat.
Yeah, if we have issues logging into eConnect, who do we contact?
I'm going to answer everybody in the chat so I'm not holding y'all up.
Someone says TSI, we were exempt, but still show not met. Can you tell me why? Ms. Hobson, can you also give a TSI update? There was a couple questions in the chat about TSI for this semester, I assume.
So TSI, that is your college readiness exam. And normally you guys will be taking that before you're placed into your Englishes, your speeches, your math courses. However, due to this pandemic, TSI is being waived for the 2020 year. It will most likely come back into effect in spring 2021. We're still holding off on that. So if you are currently looking at something and it's telling you that that you are not TSI met, you are not TSI met because you have not taken the exam, nor have you taken a class and passed it that would qualify as TSI. So it's going to stay showing that you are not TSI met until you have either A, taken, say, a speech class and passed the speech class with a B or better. Then that would like remove that TSI and it will go to TSI met. But until that time, it'll still say that you have not met it. When can you take it? That is going to be at the discretion of you and your high school. So while Cedar Valley is still testing people for TSI, that is being done virtually, and it is a long, complicated process that requires you to download certain software, and you have to have a proctor, and it's just a lot. So we at Cedar Valley are recommending that everybody go the exemption route and you take your class and you just get that A or B in your class. If for some reason you do not, in the spring, naturally we will say, okay, come on up and you can take your exam. I hope that answers everybody's question.
For questions related to CVC classes, do we contact the DHS counselor or the CVC coordinator? You'll contact your counselor first, because we're the contact with Ms. Hobson. So all enrollment in the classes start with the high school counselor.
I do see one question here. So will ECHS teachers use Schoology or Blackboard for assignments in the spring? It wasn't consistent. That's correct. ECHS teachers who are dual credit They are not required to use Schoology because it is not a Dallas College platform. The high school teachers that we have, they may use it as an additional method, but for college classes, those platforms are eConnect and eCampus.
Can you go over, Ms. Dr. Taylor, when the technology dates and information about textbooks again?
Yes, certainly. Again, if you filled out that survey, you will get an email from technology. There will be a form to complete. The tentative dates for the high school and early college are September 1st, 9 to 4, and Friday, 9 to 4 on September 4th. However, they are going to give us the information of the final numbers. And so that will be there. And then the other question was the textbooks. Those textbooks for the majority are electronic. And so if there are a few hardback that we're unaware of, we haven't been given that information. From what we know, everything is electronic outside of those biology kits.
Okay, I have a question. How will students know where to get their classes the first day of school? So the high school classes will be in Schoology in their online backpack. All the college classes will be in Blackboard or eCampus.
Yes.
So students will only be, so yeah, just confirm students should only be using Schoology for high school and eCampus for college, but those are the two platforms that they should be using this year.
Yes.
Okay, and so for the counselor's email address, somewhere in the chat, I'm going to find it and copy it again.
I don't know, Ms. Hobson, if you have additional information, or Ms. Rios Harris, if she's on the line about the textbook codes, how that process works. From what we understood, it just ends up in their Blackboard for those Include Ed textbooks.
You want me to answer that, Ariel? Okay. Yes, they are. There are several different methods. Most of us, I know for English, most of us, they're right there in the courses. We had to personally download all of the information into our eCampus. And by the way, eCampus is Blackboard. We call it E for Electronic Campus, but it is powered by Blackboard. So into those shells, like in English at the top or somewhere in the shell, it says English 1301 ebook, and they just click it and there it is. They will have access.
So they don't need a special code to get in there. It's just there because they're enrolled in the class.
Right, because and part of that, and part of Include Ed, which I heard a lot of the high schools are. So yes.
We love that process. It seems like it's going to be great, and the students will have the resources immediately.
Exactly, day one, so nobody falls behind. We're not, they're stressed out. Other people, it's not good. It's been really good so far. So I'm very, very thankful. Yes, and in some instances, I think that there is a book. One of my students said it'll be 1302, which will probably be next semester for y'all. But that it's only hard copy, so then the bookstore mails it.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're
Anything
welcome.
else you want to add there on anything? You have the floor.
Dr. Taylor?
Yes.
It's Miss Branch. I wanted to answer a question from the chat real quick.
Okay.
The parents were having, there was some confusion regarding Schoology and Blackboard. Schoology is used for your high school courses. So any class that you have that's a high school class at DeSoto, Schoology platform will be used. The students that are in college classes, no matter the grade, their classes will be on Blackboard. The students will report to Blackboard for their textbook and for all assignments for college classes. If your student is a junior and they are in Miss Ratliff's class, for example, Although she's a dual credit teacher at the high school, she is a college professor. That work will be completed in Blackboard. I hope that answered the questions that you guys had in the chat and cleared that up on which platform to go to for your student schoolwork.
Yes, we know that it is a lot, even when you see the Anytime Anywhere Learning, that is geared toward DeSoto ISD. And so you won't find things for your college courses there. So your method for college is eCampus, eConnect. For DeSoto ISD, that is Schoology within the Anytime Anywhere Learning curriculum hub that's housed there. So it's 2 for that, because we're 2 separate institutions. I see a question in here for cosmetology that falls under CTE. And so for CTE, you will want to reach out to Mr. Nicholas Johnson or Miss Melinda Pugh for information on CTE. There is a question here. Ms. Hobson, you want to clarify on how the students log into eConnect? Or Ms. Rios Harris, whoever wants the floor.
I don't know if Ariel wants to do that. The students, when you have your student ID, once you enroll and they get you set up, you'll have a 7-digit student ID. Ariel, you can jump in anytime. And then they go to eConnect, correct? To set up that eConnect account.
I actually missed the question. Could you say it?
How does a student log on to eConnect?
So your eConnect is going to be powered by your DCCCD ID number. So once you have completed your application and it gives you your ID number at the end of it, you're going to go to eConnect, and there is a link for it on the Dallas College's website, or we can send it to you directly, whichever one. But you'll go there, and once you clicked on it, it'll take you to the home screen. And on that home screen, you will start off with an E in front of your ID number where it asks for your username. And then where it asks you for your password, there's going to be an option underneath that says set up. And so you'll walk through your setup that way. If for some reason you have any issues doing that, just let your counselors or myself know, and we can get you over to the help desk and see what's going on.
CTE classes are considered electives. That's another question in the chat. There's another question about TSI.
Okay, we do want to honor your time. We do thank Cedar Valley, Ms. Rios Harris and Ms. Hobson for being here tonight with us. They were also on the dual credit side, on the comprehensive side for the high school, which they are allowed for 11th and 12th grade, some select students there to take some information. But I do want to be respectful also of the Schoology Parent Academy tonight. That's sponsored again by A2E2. They'll be facilitating that training. So since there appears to be a lot of questions on Schoology, then if you will use that link that we sent via Remind, the district also had it on the Facebook account and on the website. You can go ahead and open that link. There's a link there directly to that Zoom information so that you can get a space in that Schoology Academy tonight. They will record it also, but if you have additional questions, they will be able to answer those questions. And you'll be able to see a great demo tonight and demonstration of what that platform looks like for the high school level. If you have any questions about your schedule, please reach out to your counselor or complete that form first. There's a lot of information that we send out via Remind in the newsletter. So please ensure you're reading that counselor newsletter. It provides a lot of information, a lot of links in there. And so that is a great communication method there.
I don't know how much time we have. I had something to share on my screen, but if we're out of time, That's fine.
We're good. I was just letting the parents know if for some of those who wanted to go to Schoology at 7, they could. You can go right ahead and share your screen. Let me take my screen down.
I just wanted to show something really quickly because I'm
No, you're
your
good.
time as well.
Let me stop share. And I think I made you a co-host. Are you able to share? Okay, perfect.
All right, just so you'll know, and I won't take too much of your time, just, you know, because Ariel, we're kind of a tag team here, so we did okay. The eCampus, she already explained to you. There's a syllabus, assignment calendar, grades. Please, yeah, keep up with that. And if you know, like she said, parents, please tell your students, tell your children. No, let's look that up because it's going to be there. The one thing that I wanted to show really quickly, this is what eCampus looks like right here. This is a course, it's a template course that I have just so I could show it to you. It has all kinds of links. It depends on what the instructor decides to put there. There's an assignment calendar, a syllabus, there's everything right here. The syllabus is the go-to, just like Ariel said, please make sure that you go through it, look at everything that's required. An assignment calendar, a lot of instructors have that as well. I like to do that because I like structure, and I always want to, you know, do unto others. So I want them to be able to have what I would have wanted as a student. But anyway, this is everything right here. You can email the other students, the faculty member. I mean, anything you need to do is right here. You're going to submit all work on eCampus. It is never submitted through email. It's through eCampus, just so you know. Let me do this part. All right, FERPA, she already did that, so I'm not going to go back over that again because as long as you have that, the form, I called it a proxy, it's a waiver, same concept, filled out, then you're good. But just please, we're not trying to be mean. We just can't, you know, talk to the parents or anybody else on the student's behalf without that permission. Phi Theta Kappa. I am a Phi Theta Kappa advisor. I want you to really be aware of what this is. Phi Theta Kappa is the International Honor Society of the 2-year college, and it has so many great opportunities for your children. Please, it's not junk mail when you get our letters in the mail. We're also now sending electronic invitations, so be looking for those in email. Hopefully they're not in spam or anything, but you have to have a 3.5 GPA 2. That's the college level GPA. You'll learn as you go on, like Ariel said, when you go on to eConnect, that's where you'll find your grades, your transcripts, that kind of thing. Whenever you get that, there are 2 GPAs, a 1 and a 2. GPA 1 includes all developmental coursework even, you know, if you've ever had any. But we look at GPA 2, which is college level only. You also must have completed 12 college level hours to be qualified or eligible for membership. If you, for some reason, you know you've met all those criteria, your child's met all those criteria, and you didn't get an invite, please reach out to me and feel free to get my email address or whatever you need, because we can make sure, look you up and get you an application anyway. So we're here to help you. Many scholarship opportunities, a lot of 4-year schools, a lot of them are what we call Phi Theta Kappa friendly, and they sometimes just give money just for seeing Phi Theta Kappa on a transcript. So take advantage of anything you can take advantage of. Virtual student resources. This is the other thing really quickly, and I know that Ariel gave this. This is a wealth of information on the website. Let me see if I can.
Are you going to the dual credit, the new one? Oh, cool.
Oh, I was going to this one.
Oh, I like that too.
Yeah, this is the whole thing, and it's so neat because if you scroll down, you have everything from advising, career resources, counseling, care, and health. Here's dual credit right here. Disability services, financial aid, everything. If you click on learning support, then you got your library, your online tutoring, your learning technology, Include Ed, everything's right here. We do offer online tutoring this semester, and it's in most of our course shells, so your students will know. I have a link on mine that says online tutoring, and they can click there, and there are instructions, because we are here to help. So that's the main thing I wanted to show you, was just so you know that we are here in this together. I'm here to help. We're here that we want your students to do well, and we are a support system, and we're in this together. I know Ariel agrees with me there. So yeah. So thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you so much. And so, yes, that is a wealth of information that we have there. And so that is a great, so make sure you're checking out the Dallas College Cedar Valley website and using those resources, because it is a plethora of information. And I know their IT team has been working hard, as well as their deans and chairs and program coordinators, like everybody, to get that website enhanced and have those resources at your fingertips, especially being online only for the college in the fall. And so make sure you take advantage of that. Miss Rios Harris, Miss Branch, Miss C, Miss Burrows, Miss Hobson, did y'all have anything else for the parents or students tonight?
No, but Miss Hobson, there's a question in the chat about PSI, if you can address that one. They want to know exemptions for English. That was supposed to be, they were told it's supposed to be determined by passing your English for the year. Not.
So the TSI exemptions are a case by case, and in order to answer that, I would need your student's DCCC ID number and a copy of their transcript to be able to tell you that. So if you want to email me all of that good stuff, I'd be happy to answer you.
Okay. Dr. Taylor, there's a separate link for Schoology, correct?
Right. You can go through the Anytime, Anywhere learning platform. Again, if you refer to the district website, you can find that information. And again, that Parent Academy will be recorded for Schoology. And so they're going over all of that information tonight. And so it's just now starting at 7. And so there is a link either on the website. And yes, they're just getting started because I just connected.
They're saying it reached capacity.
It reached capacity. Okay. What we can do is send that out, that information. We can include that information. I can add a slide to this one after they do their presentation. They can send me that link to their recording, and we will also send it out via our Remind so you have it. Okay. Are there any more burning questions there? Email for Dr. Taylor or Ms. Hobson. For TSI, I guess they wanted you to clarify, Ms. Hobson.
All TSI related emails, please send them to me, Ariel Hobson, AMHOVSON @dccd.edu.
And if you need
Harrington's email address again so I can put that in the chat?
I'm sorry?
Can you give me Ms. Harrington's email address so I can put that in the chat as well?
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Taylor, and everyone for your time. Like I said, if you need anything, feel free to pass out my email as well.
Thank you all so much. We are going to end this recording and this session. Again, the Schoology, oh wow, Schoology, so I guess was a popular session, but again, it will be recorded. So check out the Facebook. Again, once I get that link from Mr. Kondo or the A2E2 team, then we will send that out. They are recording their session as well. And so whatever information we get, then we will share that also, but continue to check the DeSoto ISD Facebook page, because that is the fastest way to get those recordings, because they usually send them to communications.
And yes, we will send out this recording as well.
Yes. All right, so we are going to end this meeting, and you will get this information tomorrow. So as long as, if anything happens with the recording, then we always send a copy of the PowerPoint and PDF. And so either way, you'll have one of those resources. So we will send that out via Remind. So just make sure you're signed up for Remind. We thank you all for attending, and we want you to have a good night. And remember September 8th, and just be on the lookout for those emails about the devices and any additional information from us. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming.
We appreciate it. Y'all stay safe. Thank you, Cedar Valley.
Thank you. Go DeSoto.